This one should appeal to both the CRT and the VCR crowd because this is a combination TV VCR. The problem is the VCR doesn't work, and the owner of it would like it to work. So we're going to tear this one apart and get into it and see why it's not working, why it's not loading the tape, why it's just making noise, and see if we can get this one to work, because these are becoming a little bit of a rarity these days. Let's check it out. Got a Citizen Combo VCR TV, 14-inch CRT set. Apparently the VCR is not working. Yes, it's covered in stickers. We're going to take a look at this and see what's wrong with it. I actually got two of them, but this will be the first one I'm looking at. So I'm not even going to plug it in until I get the back off it. We can do an inspection. Alright, got this thing apart. The VCR down here. We're going to check it out and see what it's doing. Turn it on. This has got power. I feel high voltage. And I see a picture while I see a blue screen. Let's just see what happens when I try loading a tape. I don't know what's on this tape. Garbage, I'm sure. The VCR is not doing anything. Tried that time. Maybe a switch that's let's pull the actual VCR mechanism out and see what the heck's going on with it. It does not seem to want to take the tape in. The belt is slipping, but I don't think that's the reason why it's not accepting the tape. There's something else up here. And this thing's held in place with, I think, a couple screws. The chassis on this one is held in place with these two screws here, one on each side. So we'll just remove them. At least this one's a little easier to work on because the TV board is over on the side. Some of them have the TV board right over top of the VCR, and they just bloody murder to work on those. Like, everybody cursed those ones. These ones you just need a long screwdriver to get the long screws out and hold the VCR transport in place. Release a little lock on the bottom and the whole tape deck will slide out. Get out the power cord here. I think it's going to the side of it. Service people have just absolutely hated these things because, well, you gotta unplug that from there, unplug the TV from here. I think that one comes out because we don't have enough slack on these cables, you see. So you gotta unplug the TV board from the video board, and then I should be able to pull the VCR chassis out. Gotta release that catch again on the bottom here. Pull up right here for that matter. There we go. That's the little catch we have to release, and then this should lift up and hopefully out. I think I got all the plugs undone now. Oh, one more. Ground. Okay. This should lift out. They're always a challenge to get the decks out. We got wires and clips and straps, and like this one here, where the heck this goes. Oh, that's this plug's got to come out right there. Alright, now it should lift out. That's, I think, the speaker. There, okay, now the video deck can lift out. And I should be able to see what's going on with this thing. I can't operate it out of the mechanism because I need to plug it in, but at least I can connect the cables as needed to fire it up with the chassis out. I want to get to the chassis and look at the mode switch, for example. Check that part out and see if that's dirty, because the way it's behaving, it's like a switch is not working properly. We'll pull the shield off the top here first. And this is not one of the more difficult ones to get to. There were certainly ones that were much more difficult to get to than this one. I'm talking the Orion, well this is an Orion, but some of the Orions that had the actual board for the TV was right on top. Like the old Emerson ones and so forth. They were just atrocious to get to. I'm just going to run the mechanism through. I'll load the mechanism by hand here. Unlock the basket. I want to see it go down. See if there's anything mechanically that's not working. Yeah, that doesn't want to go down. It seems to be jammed. It's not going down. If I turn it by hand, it's not going in. It's stopping right there. We have broken parts. I see a spring here. I don't think it's broken though. Okay, I'm going to pull the front loader out and just check the timing of the gears here, because it appears that something's not right. See if the loader will go down manually when I turn the mechanism. So if I release the tape catches, is the loader jamming or is it going to go down? In other words, is the fault on here? Oh, yeah, the fault's on here. I can see it right now. Looks like there's it's either the gears are out of time. I think the gears are out of time is what it is. Yeah, the gears are out of time. You can see that right on the side here. That gear's out of time. Why? Is it broken? Possibly. Let's just see. Hopefully it's not, because if it's broken then we're at a lost cause here. But we'll find out pretty quick. I'm still looking for broken parts. I haven't seen any snap parts or anything yet. But generally when they get out of alignment like this, it's because there's a tooth broken off of one of the gears. That's generally what happens on them. And of course a broken gear on something like this is a death sentence for it, because you're never going to find one. And I know someone's going to say 3D print it. Well, and I've said this before, I don't have any capability of 3D printing. I have no interest in 3D printing. I have no interest in buying a 3D printer and learning how to 3D print. I know some people have set up specialized little operations where they turn out little gears and stuff for audio files, and that's fine, but I don't know who they are, where they are. I've tried getting parts 3D printed before. Paid a lot of money to somebody who guaranteed they were going to be able to 3D print a part that I needed, and guess what? They didn't. That's how that comes off. It just lifts up. So we can see here that the timing of this gear is obviously incorrect, because this is supposed to be lined up more like that on that gear. Now, will it go down? Is there teeth broken? Will it go down? Now it goes down, you see. Okay, I'm gonna put the side back on. Now that the alignment is correct, all the alignment holes are lining up. Let's just put this side piece back on, and we'll try it again. This just slides in like this over top of these and latches down like that. To get it out, the trick is, don't worry about these teeth here. You just release this little plastic catch over here on the side, and then that lifts up like that. That's how you open it up. Okay, let's try putting a tape in here now and see whether the tape will go down. Yes, the tape goes down. Okay, let's replace this back into the chassis and see whether the machine attempts to go to tape. That might be all that was wrong with it. Probably it would do to clean the mode switch, so maybe we'll do that while I've got the chassis out. I'll pop the chassis off of the board and we'll do the mode switch below. Might as well do it while I'm in here, right? So just unplug a few things. Oh, we'll just probably don't even take that one out. That's the do sensor. I think this one probably, these all probably plug into that board. So let's just pop out these screws. These switches here get dirty as well. These are switches that detect when you put a tape in, etc. And if the record lockout is missing, the record tab. And that might have been why this got jammed, is one of these switches is dirty and it didn't turn the motor on and the person forced the tape in and skipped a tooth on the gear. That's what I think probably more than likely happened on this one. The belt does not appear to be slipping either. Here's our mode switch. I'll just put the chassis out of the way, or the circuit board out of the way for a minute. Here's our mode switch right here. We're going to clean the mode switch. Here's our timing mark. You see the mark there? There's a little line there, and this one tooth here has, it looks like a little arrow on it, and that points at that little notch. That's the home position. There should also be marks on the top. Like you see, you can't see it when it's out of the unit. There's your home position right there. Right, that section there with that tooth points at the hole. You can see it on this side. See, that's home. And that just happens to line up with this one here I showed you before. That lines up there, and that will line up with the timing mark right there. You see? You should be able to see that hole through there as well. Oh, that looks yummy, doesn't it? Yeah, you think that might be part of the problem? Yes. I do think that's part of the problem. The belts seem tight, so that's no problem. But yeah, the mode switch here and the little detection switches on the front definitely will cause issues on these old machines that haven't been used for a while. Deoxit D100, 100% concentrate liquid is what I'm going to use on this. Oh, this is just bad. This is gungy. Like, this is one of the worst ones I've seen actually in a while. But we'll see how much this cleans up. Should clean up quite nicely, actually. Are we watching? Yeah, it was bad. It's still bad. Still got to get more in here, but it's getting better. Still some crap down here on the inside. A little bit better. We'll clean these contacts down here too. And I will put a couple drops on the switch just to lubricate it, keep the contacts clean. Yeah, I like what came off those. They're all just filthy. Pop the switch back together, spin it a bit, and then put our alignment back where it belongs. That's got our alignment mark here pointing into the hole. There we go. I'll show you guys a close-up of the alignment marks on here so you can see them. You can see the cutout in here. That's the cutout in the gear on that tooth that points right at that hole, and that lines up. You can see the little pointer here on the edge of the bottom of the gear pointing at that little mark there. So that's our alignment correct for the mechanism. As I say, the belt appears to be okay. It's nice and tight, so I don't think we're going to have to worry too much about much slippage here. There, that goes in there like that. I think that's in place now. There. As a bonus, I can put this through its paces with it out of the chassis. We can run it through and watch it go down. Got to keep releasing the lock. It's got like 3 stops for the tape lock, so then it goes down like that, and then the mechanism will thread. Just like that. That is getting kind of annoying. That is getting really annoying. There, that's working now. Mechanically, that's what it's supposed to do. Okay, now I can drop this back in place. Line up the alignment pins, and it should just, oh, I gotta line up these switches too, and it should just drop in place. And of course the screws are accessible because Orion puts holes in the right place to access the screws. Unlike some companies, which you actually have to wind the front loader forward to access them. Are you listening, JVC? I can connect the board and test it out of the unit, which is what we're going to do before I put the top on it. We're going to make sure that everything works. So now it's on. Okay, moment of truth. I don't know which ones play, but one of these buttons should do something. Which button plays? That's eject. One of these buttons has got to play. That one? No, that's the eject again. Are they going to force me to actually look at the front of it and see? That looks like play. I don't know if there's anything on this tape or not. I'll have to kind of turn it around and look and see. I think the tape's probably got nothing on it. We know it's not eating, so let's try a tape that does have something on it. That tape actually did have something on it. I pressed the record button and erased what was on there. Okay, I think we can see in the mirror that we have color bars. Well, okay, it's not a mirror, it's a DVD player, but it works as good as a mirror. It lets me see the CRT from this side. That's all that matters. It's got a picture. Let's throw it together. Of course, I will clean the machine while I've got it apart. Now, which button's which? That's eject, I think. Yeah, that's eject. Yeah, it was a bit dirty. We'll do the same for the audio control head. and the rest of the transport. I triggered it to try to load by interrupting the photo sensor. Don't want to do that. Probably take off this cleaning head cleaner, because if you look at it, it's black. So this is going to be just putting more garbage back on the head than it's ever going to remove. So we'll just take this thing off of here. You see that that's worn out, it's done its job, but it's now to the point where it's not turning. It's actually not getting like sticky like some of them, but it's filthy. So it's not really removing any debris from the heads. It's more than likely just putting more back on. Shielding is important on these machines because they're sitting next to a working CRT, which is going to be spewing all kinds of electromagnetic pulses right down towards the video amplifier. At least that's when they put the flyback a little bit higher on the chassis. The ones that had the circuit board mounting right over top of it were problematic. This one here, the flyback's up here, so it's separated a bit, but still it's important to put the shielding back in place, because you know we don't do things half-assed around here. And I think you guys are local and remember the half-assed TV commercials for Rona, the building supply place. So it's like, it's got people working on projects, and the caption says don't do things half-assed, and it's got a, whoops, speaking of half-assed, there we go. It's got people working on stuff, right? And like they got the drywall open, and there's plumbing running through an electrical box type of thing, right? And all this shoddy stuff, and there's this half of a donkey with just the back feet and the torso and the head, and no front feet, and it's walking around on 2 feet, and it says don't do things half-assed. Classic TV commercial. Occasionally you get one that's funny and you remember it. Of course, then you get all those bloody drug commercials that sing a tune that's similar to a popular song that was popular in the 1980s and try to get you to remember the drug they're pushing. Hate those ones. Want to throw the remote at the TV when they come on. And yes, I still have regular TV here. I have streaming as well, but I do watch regular TV because I like to watch live sports. So, alright, I'll put this chassis back in place now, and gotta get the little door on the front lined up as well. The chassis just slips into place with a couple of tracks that it slides into. Get it under the degaussing coil, get the chassis into the tracks. I got to open the door in the front so that it will line up with the catch. I think that's in place. Plug the speaker back in. Alright. The moment of truth. Will it work? Power on. I got the blue screen of death. Tracking controls are on the remote. Oh, that's why it was. I was pushing a button and it was a record button. That's why it wasn't playing. It was kicking the tape out because the safety tab was broken off and I was hitting the record button. Play button is this one over here. I'll put my own tape in here. Hey, look at that. Looks like $1 million. And it actually does look very good. So the person that owns this one, this was brought over to me last night. Guy found a listing. I didn't put it on there, but somebody on Reddit said to contact me if you've got a VCR. So appreciate that, because that's how we get this stuff done these days. With all the shops that are gone, there is no repair shops anymore. There's just a few of us around. A few of us dinosaurs around that know how to fix this stuff, that are still working on it at home, for example. And that's how I get most of my my clients, is either they see me on YouTube or someone posts about it on Reddit or on Facebook or something, and I get the work. And I get to fix this old stuff and keep this old stuff that people just love to hang on to out of the landfill. And you know, I like these little combos myself just because everything's all in one. You've got a VCR or a DVD player. I have a Toshiba 28-inch with a VCR and a DVD player. I have not showed it yet. I don't know if it works or not. I'll show it someday. Someday we will see it on the channel when I can dig it out. Alright, there it is, back together. One final test. There we go. Oh, wrong button. And color bars, a nice loud tone. Yeah, purity's a bit off because I've been turning it around. That'll clear up once the set gets cooled down. There you go. Color bars. Okay, this one's done. Thanks for watching.